This right here is the Horton Steel Force. It's a recurve crossbow, which means it does not have cams. The limbs come out of the end of the stock and curve towards the shooter, and then recurve out and away. One of the things you need to know about all crossbows is, first of all, keep your fingers down when shooting, because the string, as it moves down the track to push the arrow, will take your fingers off if they are in the way. The second thing, don't forget rule number 1. Third thing, never shoot a crossbow without an arrow in it that has the appropriate weight. When this bow was designed and built, the appropriate weight was 425 grains. Now I have arrows here that will work for it. They're a little longer, but they are the correct weight. So I have 5 of those that are going to come along with this crossbow. Some things about the Horton. One of the cool things was, back in the day, to help sight in a scope, they had this dial range knob on the side. This particular scope I dialed in at half the elevations adjustment, and then used selection number 2 to get this within a quarter's width of dead center at 17 yards. It's shooting a little high, like I said, about a quarter's width at 17 yards. So if you want to leave it there and just know that if that deer comes in, you're going to take him about an inch and a half high, that's fine, because that's only going to give you a longer distance with the first line. This line in the Horton series had multiple, or this scope in the Horton series had multiple lines. There's about 4 different lines in there for 4 different yardages. The top line is your shortest distance. I'm believing that to be about 17 to 22 yards. Okay. There's really no need to use this selection set, but if you want to shoot farther distances, you can. You'll just have to practice at those distances. Now, I'm also sending a cocking rope with it. Notice that the cocking rope has the hooks pointed down. Okay, that is so it traps the string and keeps it down along the rail. Also, the string goes above the dial range so not to break the tabs off. And it wraps through the stock here at this top joint. Okay, you do that so that the string, as it's being pulled back, stays down to not bend or break your arrow retention spring. This arrow retention spring is what keeps the arrow down against the track. If it's not down against the track when you shoot it, even though there's an arrow in it, the string may jump the arrow or slide under the arrow, causing a dry fire. Okay, so this scope mount is spring activated here to assist the dial range. So if you notice, this is normal. Okay, don't let that scare you. It will return to 0. Outside of that, main things with any bow is to keep the strings and servings waxed to prevent abrasion, and also to keep them lubricated. Okay, I usually wax my crossbows every time I put them away. That way, when I'm ready to shoot them, they're already lubed and ready to go. With a crossbow, different from a vertical bow, you have a rail. The string slides along the rail. Now you may be able to see some of the wax that's on the rail. You need to lube this often, because this will wear on your center serving string. So what you do again is just put a light coat on and rub it in. Rub it in the full length all the way back into the trigger box, and keep a nice light coat. You may have to wax it probably every 5 to 10 shots, because this is a composite stock and the rail is a little rough. Okay, but outside of that, that's really all the maintenance you'll need to do. Now, to cock it. As you see, we have the rope already on. That is where I store the rope when I am not shooting. Okay, so I will take this, I will put it around my foot. Make sure you get it into the ball of the foot, okay, or deeper. Don't try and hold it back with your toes. Now, grab the hooks by the handles and leave your arms extended and just stand up first. Once you come to all the way straight, then all you have to do is a small bicep curl and it's cocked. Now you may not have heard that, but there was 2 significant clicks. One click, as I remove this cocking rope, one click set the tumbler, which is now holding the string. The second click put the safety from fire back to safe. When you are not shooting this and it's already been fired, always leave the safety here in the fire position. If it's cocked and has an arrow or does not have an arrow, it should always be on safety. Again, to prevent the dry fire. Now, to load it, you'll take the odd vane, put it down inside the track and under the string retainer, arrow retainer, slide it all the way back until it hits. Once it's in, now you're ready to fire. You can push this forward, squeeze the trigger, and it'll shoot. I'm going to take this up to the target and discharge it right now.